The book name is Little Women, Chapter number 1, The March Family. It was the year 1861. Abraham Lincoln was President of the United States of America. But there was war in the south of the country. Richard March was not a young man, but he went into the army so that Christmas his wife and their 4 daughters were alone. Christmas won't be Christmas this year, said Joe. We haven't got any money, and so we can't give anything to anyone. It's sad when you're poor, said Mag, the oldest girl. She looked down at her old dress. Some girls have plenty of pretty things, and other girls have nothing at all. It isn't fair, said young Amy. We've got father and mother and each other, said Beth quietly. The light of the fire shone on the 4 young faces, and they looked brighter. But Joe said sadly, we haven't got father, and we shan't have him for a long time. She didn't say perhaps never, but each silently added it. They thought of their father far away in the war. Nobody spoke for a minute. Then Joe said, but we each have $1 and the army won't need that. So they decided to spend their money on things for their mother. The March girls were all different. Mag, the eldest of the 4, was 16 and very pretty. She had large eyes and a sweet mouth. Joe was 15 years old. She was tall, thin, and had big hands. Beth was 13 and very quiet. She loved music. Amy was 12. She had blue eyes and yellow hair. Amy thought she was both beautiful and important. Now it was 6 o'clock and their mother came home. Well, dears, how have things been today? She asked. She was taking off her wet clothes. I've got something nice for you after supper. A letter from father. A letter? Cried Joe, jumping up and down. Yes, a nice long letter. He is well, and he thinks he'll get through the cold winter all right. He sends his love for Christmas. After supper, they all moved near to the fire. Mother sat in the big chair, with Beth at her feet. Meg and Amy sat on the arms of the chair. Jo stood at the back to hide her face. She thought she might cry. And the letter was said at first. The soldiers lived in a dangerous life, and it was very hard. But the letter ended. Give my love to all my daughters, and a kiss. Tell them I think of them every day. A year seems a very long time to wait before I see them. I know they will be loving children to you. They must fight the enemy within each one of us. When I come back, I hope I shall be very pleased with my little women. Amy hid her face in her hands and cried. I'll try not to think so much about myself. I'll try to be better. We all will, said Meg. I think too much about my looks. I know I do, and I hate work. I'll try not to be so wild, said Joe, but I wish I was a man. Then I could go and fight in the south. Beth said nothing. Mrs. March put the letter away. Do you remember the journey in that book, The Pilgrim's Progress? She asked them. I used to read it to you. It's about a Christian who traveled through many dangers. Oh yes, I remember, said Amy. He had lots of adventures. It was a very interesting story. It was like life, my dears, said their mother. Our road is in front of us. It's hard and we meet troubles and dangers. But let's see how far we can get along that road before father comes home.